Buck, congratulations on your award and good luck tonight. I'm wondering, all the years you've been in the organization as a player, coach, and manager, what does it mean to you to see the success organization-wide this year?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how it's kind of come full circle these last 4 or 5 years. It's incredible, and to see it with a lot of our homegrown guys, and watch them be able to have success together, win together. It's been a real joy, and I think we're set up in the organization to have this continue.
Andy Koska, Baltimore Banner.
Hey, Buck, congrats on this. I'm curious on when you look at, you haven't had Jackson all year, obviously, but when you look at a 19-year-old comes up to AAA, is a lot younger than almost everybody there. What do you take away from what he's been able to do this season? And I don't know, what do you kind of look at for the future for him?
Yeah, first off, I mean, it's kind of incredible how he's progressed this season, even from spring training to the player that he is now. To be 19 years old, 1 year removed from high school, to be playing up against some of the best talent in all of minor league baseball, and being able to not only play but compete. This is a kid who's going to be an impact big leaguer for a long time, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him continue to grow. The skill set jumps off the chart, the makeup, and what a kid. And this kid's determined, man. He's determined to be in the big leagues yesterday. So I'm really looking forward to whatever happens for the remainder of this season for him, to see him come into spring training next year.
Jake Rill, MLB.com.
Hey, Buck, you got to tell a few guys this year that they were going for the big leagues, Westberg, Kalser, Kerstad. Just what was it like for you to be part of those moments with those guys? And how cool was it for you to see those guys reach the big leagues this year?
Yeah, man, I've been very blessed to be in some pretty cool situations in this organization the last couple of years. One of the things I really try to do is get to know my players on a personal level, so that when we do have those conversations, it's a bit more meaningful. And they know it's coming from a place for somebody that was, hopefully they understood, grinding in the trenches with them. But I mean, just great kids, great teammates. They played hard for me every day. And I'm really, really happy that those guys are having this success in the big leagues like they are.
Steve?
So Buck, we heard from players when they would come up from Norfolk about they went from one great clubhouse environment to another, one winning environment to another. Collectively, your group this year, what was it like to manage them and coach them?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Again, super blessed to have been in this situation. We knew we were going to have a lot of talent. That was undeniable, but it was a little bit of pressure to make sure that we had these guys not only ready to contribute in the big leagues, but to be able to maintain their skill sets with all the movement that we have in the organization typically. So I really do appreciate them saying that. I mean, that's something that we really strive for as a staff, to make sure that our players, even though it's AAA, they want to show up, they want to go to work, and they want to play for each other, and they want to win. And that's kind of been the mindset all year down here.
Rich Dubroff, BaltimoreBaseball.com.
Hey, Buck, was it difficult having some players who probably should have been in the major leagues and felt like they wanted to be in the major leagues and were, would have been major leaguers on many other clubs? Was it tough managing them?
I think at times it was, but I think it goes back to kind of how I like to do things down here, how our staff does, building these personal relationships where, these guys in moments of weakness per se, they could come into the office, have honest conversations. I could be honest with them. They could air their grievances to me. We could agree that it's time to go back to work, and they would in most cases, and pretty much all cases they would. We got a really good group here, man. There's not even the guys that come into the organization from the outside. They do a very good job of vetting these guys, and the character that they continue to pour into this place. It's not hard. It's not hard. Everybody's got moments. Everybody wants to be in the big leagues. Nobody wants to be in AAA, right? And we understand that. But these players have been exceptional. It's made my job a lot easier.
Andy Koska?
Hey, Buck, since you became a manager in 2018, where have you developed? Where have you grown the most as a manager, as a leader?
Yeah, I think if you first look at just the gameplay on the field, it changes at every level, the speed of the game, getting around more veteran players. But I think it's learning what makes each individual player tick. So how to go about making sure that everybody in the locker room feels comfortable. How do I poke and prod at the right time to pull the skill set out of players? How do I just become a place of comfort where they can come and talk to me and I can help them through struggle? Um, so I think that just in the sense of getting to know players and people, and being able to tug on different ropes with different guys and different personalities is kind of where I've grown, and hopefully that's where I continue to grow.
Jacob Meyer, Baltimore Sun.
Hey Buck, congratulations. Gunnar Henderson today was named MVO. You've seen him play a lot. Is there a moment that you can think of in his career that you've seen him that for you was like that's when you knew he was special? That's when you knew he was different and capable of what he's doing now?
Yeah, Gunnar showed up to the alt site during the COVID season. I believe he was 19 years old at the time. And he was there taking at bats against guys that had pitched in the big leagues, guys that were going up and down in the big leagues. And he struggled. He struggled for a couple of weeks. And then something clicked for Gunnar. By the time the camp was over or the season was over, Gunnar was the best player in that camp. And I think that was the moment you knew the skill set, but the determination to be great. Gunnar plays hard. You guys get to see it night in and night out. He cares. He plays with passion, and he trains with passion. He does the same things when he's training. But that's definitely a moment where I think not only myself but everybody that was there and in the organization was like, wow, I think we have a chance to have a really special player here.
Jake Rill.
Buck, what's impressed you about Chase McDermott, and what do you like about his stuff?
Man, what's impressed me the most is his ability to get outs in the strike zone. We have a unique deal here where for the first 3 games of the 6-game series we play with full ABS. So you're not getting, catchers aren't stealing strikes out of the strike zone. Strikes are strikes and balls are balls. And I think over the course of the season, Chase has done a really good job, and I think it just comes with confidence. He's got great stuff, but understanding that he can get outs in the strike zone, and I think he's really taken off. He's commanding the ball well. I think this guy's got a chance to impact our major league roster here in the near future. And he's a fierce competitor. I love the kid.
Steve Molesky.
Buck, amazing stats this year for Mayo. It's almost sometimes he gets overlooked with so many prospects, even with those numbers. How did he grow as a hitter and a player this year?
Yeah, Mayo's been great since he's been here. Obviously a monster season. He's gotten better on the defensive side of the ball. This is a really big kid. And a lot of times these big young kids have a hard time figuring their bodies out early on. So there could be some coordination things that kind of limit them defensively, but he's really come into his own both offensively and defensively. We knew the arm was there. The first step quickness is improving defensively. And then offensively, he was another guy. He kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start when he first got here. But he's got aptitude, man. And the really good ones figure it out, and they figure it out quickly. And that's what Coby's done. And he's got a lot of pull side power. Everybody knows the pull side power, but he's starting to use right center field, the big part of the field. I don't know if you ever watch a game, you watch where I stand in the third base coach's box when Coby Mayo's hitting, because if you aren't paying attention, your life is at risk.